Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a bi-weekly podcast, but we do upload this version of the podcast, the video version, on the off week to our YouTube channel. So you can check out that. My name is Matt, and as always, I am being joined by my sister, Vetta.
Hi.
Hey, Vetta, what's going down? And as you know, we drink while we do this episode. We're both pretty sauced up right now. So this week we are going to be talking about Woman in the Window. Oh gosh, what a fun movie, Vetta. What did you think? Just right off the bat, what was the fun?
It depressed me so much. I was
Right
so
on.
depressed.
Okay.
I needed anxiety medication after this movie.
So did this woman. Okay. So but before we get started, what are you drinking, Vetta?
So I have this lovely pre-mixed cocktail called a Monaco tequila lime. It is, hold on, I'm an old lady. I gotta look this shit up. So it's 9% alcohol. It's tequila, lime liqueur. That's pretty much it. Just some
I was
tequila.
hoping it was like last week where was instead of Dirty Shirley, it was like a Donico Monaco. Anyways.
Don't worry. I've got the Dirty Shirley on backup for when this is done.
I really need to find one that rhymes. So the next time you're like, I got a Dirty Shirley, I can be like, I got to fuck you, Carl. Anyways, or something like that. I don't know. I can't think of right. I'm drinking a Marlowe right now. A Merlot.
I'm totally gonna look and see if there's a fuck you Carl drink out there.
Gosh. I'm just gonna look up after we get done with this. I'll look up drinks that rhyme because it makes me so happy when they rhyme. Okay. So again, yeah, this movie, I thought this movie was bad, but so much fun. Like I had so much fun. So I don't remember the name of the main character, Amy Adams. So I'm just going to call her
Anna.
Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams real quick. I just want to say that real quick. I just love her. She's so great. Anyway,
her character's name's Anna.
Anna. There we go. Okay, great. I'm not going to call her Anna. So anyway, so Anna is living in this. And I just want to start off this by saying in this beautiful brownstone in New York or whatnot. Like the whole time watching, I'm like, this is architectural jerk off material. Like I'm just like,
and how pissed are you when Julianne Moore's character Kate was all like, this is an ugly fucking apartment.
Dude, I wrote that down. That's like literally like the second line I wrote. I wrote out, I take that back. It's like the third line because I wrote down agoraphobic and then I wrote down Julianne Moore stuck in this shitty house. And I'm all like, Julianne Moore, go fuck yourself. This brownstone, I'm obsessed with this house.
It's amazing. And then when David points out the mold in the skylight, I'm like, but dude, the skylight, who cares about the fucking mold? That's beautiful.
That's what I said. She's got a skylight, fucker. I don't have a skylight. Like I'm just
like 4 floors.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's her skylight on her 5th floor rooftop garden, you mean? Oh, and he's like, you're gonna need to get a professional in here. I'm all like, a professional in her brownstone, and I just like
the whole time I'm like this. Every time it showed a different floor or a different room, I'm like, this shit's like a fucking labyrinth. It's beautiful. It's never ending.
Right, exactly.
Where do I get one?
I was the same way. Like I was just like, oh my God. I was like,
the house was the best part of this entire movie.
Yeah, I'd be sucking dick to get this house. Like you don't even understand. Like it was beautiful, and I'm all like, people keep talking mad shit about this place, and I'm all like, yeah, that's because you're not poor, okay?
Right, exactly.
Whoever wrote this was never poor because
they thought this was a shitty place to live.
Oh, if I lived in that brownstone, I'd feel like the Queen of fucking England. Like I'd be like, where are my servants at?
All the time just to rub it in people's fucking face.
Exactly.
Would you like to come have a barbecue on my rooftop?
Exactly.
That's exactly how it would be. Brownstone. That's what the invitation would say.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, on my brownstone in New York. Where do you live, poor people? Anyways, I wear that Paris Hilton shirt that says "Stop being poor."
Right.
So,
anyways, we should go back to the movie.
So she is agoraphobic, and this happens after an accident and everything.
Yes,
which we
and
find
for
out
those
later.
of you that don't know what agoraphobic is, it means she can't go outside. She's stuck in her house forever.
Right.
Like if she goes outside, she has a panic attack, freaks out, cries, blacks out, whatever you want to call it. She can't do it.
Yeah, she does a couple times in this movie. So then So now she, at the beginning of this, she's talking to her husband and her daughter,
Yes.
which are dead because she's
Yes.
crazy.
Which
Okay.
I actually wrote like the second line, like I wrote my commentary at the beginning about the house. But after it, I went, oh, this is going to be like the Sixth Sense. Her husband and daughter are dead. That's why she's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Right on. Yeah, like all of the stuff, the big reveals, I was like, this is not a big reveal. Like, I guess this like 20 minutes in. Like, it's not even like even the killer, I guessed,
Yeah.
like 20 minutes because I was like, this is not even that big of it. So
No, the minute he called her Dr. Fox, I went, oh my God, it's him.
yeah, right on. So then, okay, so she's talking to her daughter and her husband who are dead. And this family moves in next door. They're called the Russells, but I'll probably forget that later on in this.
Yes, because you got to remember, she's been stuck in this brownstone, which after we've all been quarantined, I got no sympathy for her. We were all agoraphobics there for a while.
Right on. Yeah.
For 10 months, she's been stuck in this. And she's a nosy. It's made her a nosy fucking neighbor.
Oh yeah. I totally. She's creeping on her neighbors, and I totally get it because I'm a huge Yenta. I don't know how about you. I get it from her mother,
sure.
but
For sure.
I'm a
Have you
huge
met her?
Yenta. I spy on my neighbors all the time. Like you don't even know. Like
I don't have neighbors, but I can tell you the people that live in the apartments across the street. I know tons of their shit. I know who's got what dog, who lets their dog poop in other
I'm the
people's
same.
yards.
And I got one of those Ring doorbells. So Ring, by the way, you can sponsor us. Anyways, so I got one of those Ring doorbells, and I see everything. Like I'm on that app like every 5 minutes. Like I'm all like, oh, who's that over there? And I'm like, I need to record this car and their license plate. Anyways, so she's a huge Yenta, which I totally get it. And so she spends, okay, this isn't the thing. And this takes place later, but I want to talk about it now. So she said, because I wrote this down, right? Okay, she spends all her days drinking, spying on her neighbors, and watching movies. And living in a beautiful brownstone. Yes, please. Sign me up for
I
this
don't
bullshit.
see the problem. I go, besides the beautiful brownstone, weren't we all doing this last March through
right,
February, whatever?
Right. Ain't that the truth? I was like, sign me. Yes, please. Cause this sounds like a great life. Like, right? So
I mean, and she's getting the good meds, which she says a bazillion times, I shouldn't be drinking on this, as she guzzles a glass of wine. Right. I'm like, yes, girl. But granted, that does contribute to a lot of her issues. But anyways, I'm like, I don't see a problem with her life. Where do I get me one of these?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, we find out later her family's dead, but before that, as far as I'm concerned, she's living the good life.
I'm not going to lie. Before it's confirmed that her husband and her daughters, I'm like, wait a minute. Her husband has clearly left her because she's agoraphobic and he can't stand her living her life every day. And he took the kid with him. So wait, he's probably still paying for shit because they're still married. So he's paying the mortgage. Her shit's delivered to her house. She's drinking, watching movies, sleeping, and spying on her neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're complaining.
Men are always getting screwed. Anyways, so so then
it's like a man, way to make it about yourself.
So the son of the Russell family, he comes over. His name is Ethan.
With the lavender candle, which I love me a lavender candle.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
Over. And they have like a little like this heart to heart. Like he's like, how old is that your people?
Oh yeah, she's all like, I used to be a child therapist. What can I help you with? Let me dissect everything in your life.
Yeah, and everything. And he's all doing this whole thing. And I'm just like, this kid's a creeper. Anyway, so
I totally was like, when is he gonna like grope her butt? I totally thought when he was hugging her, he was going to grope her butt or something because he was giving off that creepy vibe.
Yeah. So then he ends up leaving or whatever because he hugs her and everything. And he's all like, we're going to be best friends. But he didn't say that anyway. So, and then her tenant, David, he comes in. And I thought David was a little weird the whole time.
Because what a random character.
Yeah. Oh my God. So random. And I felt like the only reason he was there was to jump scare her. Like every time he showed up, it was like she turned around, she was like, ah, and everything. She's like, oh, David, it's you. And I'm all like,
well, and she clearly only had a tenant because the therapist was like, you need somebody here. Because she apparently tried to commit suicide after the family died. You don't know it's because of the family died, but you do get that there was a suicide attempt along the way.
Yeah, which I totally get.
For sure. After you figure out everything that goes on and you see the flashback, oh, I for surely get that. And she loans the kid movies. That's the most random thing in the world. Like,
Sorry, I was on mute.
yeah.
I said something there. Sorry, I took a sip. You should take a sip now too.
Okay.
So, anyways, so then Julianne Moore saves her from some Halloween kids
Doing what
throwing
kids do on Halloween. Like, she's
throwing
so
eggs
freaked
at her
out
house.
because they're
No,
egging her
I have to
house.
be honest. I was kind of annoyed with those little shits because they were throwing eggs at her house. And I'm sorry. Listen, like I'm the kind of person like when you toilet paper somebody's house, you throw eggs at their house. Now they have to clean it up or they have to pay somebody to clean it up. You're wasting their time. Those kids deserve to die. Anyways,
Okay. I'm not going
so
to lie. I toilet papered a few houses in my
yeah,
day.
well, you shouldn't be living. Anyway, so they deserve, some horrible end. So Julian, because she unlocks the door, and as soon as she opens it, it's like bright lights, like it's like heaven. I was like, did she die? And then Julianne Moore saves her, and then they have like a little
Right.
girls' night, and that's where she makes the comment where
And
she's like,
Julianne Moore is like Jane, quote unquote, number one, but her character's actual name is Kate.
right, yeah, you find out later that she's not really Miss Russell, Jane Russell.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so she comes in and have like this little girls' night where they're talking about their lives and everything, their kids and how like,
But didn't you all get right away that something was off about her?
Oh yeah, because the Julianne Moore character. Don't get me wrong, like I love Julianne Moore.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my god, she's like the best. I can't get enough of her.
I normally love movies that she's in. I'm super excited when I see she's in them.
Oh yeah, every single person in this movie that was not the main character and the Ethan kid were wasted because like they were just small cameos. Even the little girl that played her daughter, I'm like, you wasted this little girl's time. But it's like whatever.
She got the paycheck. She's fine with it.
Even what's his face that Winter or Falcon that played her husband. I was like, you wasted his time with this bullshit.
Anthony Markle?
Mackie.
There
we go. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they have their little girls' night. And so
which was weird and awkward.
Yeah, and Jane's Ethan, he did allude to the fact that Alistair, which I love that the dad's name is Alistair the whole time. Every time they brought it up, I was like, what a weird fucking name for a human being.
Alistair?
Anyways, yeah. So
there's been other characters named Alistair.
Go ahead and name them. Don't worry, I'll wait. We don't have time for that bullshit. Anyways, so
well, you can call him Gary. You can call him Gary because
Gary Oldman or Sirius Black. Anyway, so
yeah, that's what I kept.
Which really bums me out that he was brought into this movie because I was like, oh, what a waste of Gary Oldman. Anyways, so Sirius Black, he alludes to the fact that he's an abusive asshole. So then Anna,
he's really only abusive to the psychotic child.
Yeah, which deservedly so, because that kid is fucked up, which we'll find out later. Anyway, so then Anna, that's her name, right?
Yep.
I don't want to call her Anna. We're just gonna
call her Amy. Just call her Amy.
I love Amy Adams. Anyway,
I do too.
So she witnesses Jane's, and I put that up in quotations for people listening to this, being murdered. Okay, in their living room or whatnot. And then she calls the cops.
But wasn't the murder, when you watch it, like some supernatural shit? Like I was like, wait.
Yeah, you don't see the murder. You just see her like fly across the window.
Room, and then she goes hurling into the air.
And then she's like, save me or whatever.
And the blood handprint go. Yeah. I was like, wait. I didn't think this was sci-fi. What?
Yeah, it's so funny because I'm all like, okay, you guys are setting this up. Whatever. It's cool. Daddy gets it. So then she witnesses her death, and she calls the cops and everything, and they show up. And they're all talking to her, and they're like, and so then Alistair comes in, which I just want to say, if you're a cop or a detective in this case, and somebody says, I witnessed a murder, do you bring in the murder suspect to talk to the witness? I mean, what kind of...
But she's not a witness at that point. I mean, they should have brought the wife in first, not the dude that she thinks killed the wife.
See, I thought the whole situation was weird. I was all like,
it was really strange, but they were trying to prove her wrong.
Yeah, what kind of police work is this?
But in the whole big scheme of things, wouldn't you think your neighbor was batshit crazy if the cop showed up on your doorstep and said, "Hey, so your neighbor saw you kill your wife," and you're like, "But this is my wife.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're talking about." I mean,
Right.
I would be a little leery if she lived across the street from me.
Right on. And everything's yeah, it was just bonkers. Like and I love how and again, they Jennifer Jason Leigh played the real Jane Russell, and I'm like,
Yes.
what a waste of Jennifer Jason Leigh. I love her so much.
Oh my
Like,
god, like
oh yeah,
she's so
she's
good.
so good, and like she's in like what 2 scenes, and I'm like, you guys wasted so many good actors on this shitty fucking movie, like this shitty
Right?
fucking agoraphobic movie. Like, fuck you.
Like you could have done so much with this stuff. Like, yeah, I'm right there with you. Like every
Yeah.
time somebody walked into the room, like the detectives, the shitty ass detectives got more screen time than she did. And I was like, I got too much of them. I don't
Oh, I
need
don't
them
know what's
anymore.
his face played the one detective, and I like him a lot. Gosh, what's his name? It's
Detective Little was Brian. Is it like Trey Henry?
yeah, Brian Trey Henry. I love
Yeah.
him. He's great. He's great.
Yeah. The
Watch
girl detective, I didn't have a clue who she was. I
yeah,
couldn't come
fuck
up with
her.
her
Who
name if
cares?
my life depended on it.
Yeah, fuck her. Who cares? Anyway,
Yeah.
so then she starts spying on the Russell family, like hardcore, which I totally understood. I was like, oh, I'm a huge Yenta.
Did
I'm
you
on
get
your
the
side.
single white female vibe
Oh, I was
when
on
she
her
called
side.
her back and was like,
Oh,
stop watching? I was like, oh
oh,
my God.
yeah, yeah. I totally listen. I totally got it, and I was all like, yeah, daddy gets it.
I was like, Jennifer Jason Leigh is like, I've been in this movie before. Stop fucking watching me.
Right. And so she asked David, the guy that lives in her basement, if he heard anything that night. And he was all like, I didn't hear anything.
Because he was in the fucking basement
Right.
doing
Exactly.
the woman before
Yeah.
she
And she
left.
finds out that he went to prison and everything. And then
And he's on parole.
yep. And he's on
And they're in
parole.
Connecticut, and the parole, he's not supposed to leave the state of
Exactly. He's broke his conditions for,
Massachusetts.
yeah, something like
Okay.
that. It doesn't matter. Anyways.
Yeah.
And then I love how, and she gets an email and it's a photo of her sleeping. Right.
Yeah.
So,
On her own camera. No, I don't think it was an email. She was downloading pictures from her camera, wasn't she?
I don't remember that much of
I
it.
think she was
I thought it
downloading
was just
pictures
I
of
thought it was an email.
I thought she was
Oh,
looking at
does
the
it even
pictures she took.
matter?
It really
We're
doesn't.
we're
We're
arguing
nitpicking over
semantics.
the stupid shit off. Oh, you know what
Okay.
it is? It's a
Take a
shitty
sip
movie,
now.
so
Take a
we're
sip real quick.
grasping
Stop
at
talking. Take a
straws.
sip. Oh, take a sip. Anyways. Okay, now that we're done arguing semantics. Anyways.
Yeah.
So again, she contacts those detectives again. And then everything. So then hold on, I have my notes.
Okay, wait. She called them again.
Yeah, so she then starts to do her own detective work, right?
Oh, she starts googling the shit out of these
Which
people.
I just have to say right now, she played Lois Lane in the
But she was
Snyderverse.
doing it wrong. She didn't put their names in quotes. You're supposed to put people's names in quotes when you Google them.
No, I know. She did it right. She was finding out shit that I was all like, "Can you do this?" and everything. I was all like, "I want to call somebody's business and be all like, can you tell me about Donald Sutherland and all that bullshit?" And I was all
Dude,
like,
I could call your factory. Give me your factory's number tomorrow. I could call and find all kinds of shit from you.
"Oh man, I was totally impressed by the whole situation. I was like, this is good. I like it.
But
Daddy
I don't know
likes
why
it."
she needed to call. She could have googed the shit out of that and found more stuff.
So then she found out that Alistair's
Coworker.
assistant. I
Oh
thought it was
yeah,
an
that's
assistant.
right. His executive assistant.
Yeah, she had died because she had jumped out of a window and died and everything.
Jumped.
And everything. So then, moving forward, we find out that we move to a flashback and we find out that Anna was in a car with her husband and her daughter, and they were on
having we're a perfect family moment, but they're not.
And her husband's all like, I can't do this anymore.
Because he alludes to her having an affair.
Right, exactly. And they're trying to play it up for their daughter, which is that kid is so fucking cute.
She's little.
Oh, she was so freaking
adorable.
cute. I was like, that little girl's so cute. It sucks that she died.
Don't break her heart.
And then he's all like, I can't do this anymore and everything. And then she goes to answer a call from her,
Or no,
dick in waiting.
he tries to answer that. She's ignoring.
No,
the
she goes to
call.
answer it, and then he stops her. He's like, don't answer it. And
No,
then
I think it was the other way around. He went to grab it.
No,
Are you sure?
no,
Okay.
I'm not 100%, but I'm like 90%
I feel like
sure.
they were. I know they were
She
fighting
went
over
to grab the phone.
and
He
it
grabbed the
went
phone from
flying.
her, and then he was like, Anna. And then she was like, what? And then they went over that fucking clip, which is
I'm
so
pretty
fucking
sure the
scary.
phone went flying in the air and she tried to pick it up off the
But
floor.
I don't know why you're arguing semantics
really
with me.
nothing to
Like,
talk about
why do
in
we
this
do?
movie.
Don't fucking judge me. Why do we do this every episode? Like, you start popping off, and I don't know why you're popping
Because we
off.
pick shitty movies.
Let me just tell you
and
right now,
all
if
we
you were in
have for
front of me, I'd be
entertainment is
smacking the shit out of you right now. Okay,
No,
and this
you
is not
wouldn't.
no. Oh,
You would be pinching the fat on the back of my arm.
oh, like I may be your little brother, but I'm your big
little
man. You know what I'm
T-Rex
saying?
arms
Oh
couldn't
my
reach
gosh.
my head.
You better pray to the Jesus I don't see you in person anytime soon. Oh goodness. Anyway,
So happy I live 12 hours away.
right on. In your war zone. Anyways, so she calls the detectives and they come over and everything, and she is having these hallucinations. She sees her car flipped over and everything
while they're talking to her, so they're like, you're batshit crazy.
Right on. So she apologizes. She's like, I'm sorry.
She takes blame for everything.
Right. Yeah. She's like, I'm sorry. I hallucinated this whole thing. I'm a bad person kind of thing.
She's like, I'm so sorry I ruined your lives and did this.
Exactly. Which
Please
I kind of felt bad for her at that point, because I was like, oh, that's so sad and everything.
I didn't, because I went, bitch, there's still 30 minutes of this
right,
movie.
Exactly. That's what I was like. I feel bad for her, but there's still so much more time that I'm all like, oh, something's going down. And I was like, plus she's not hallucinating. This is a movie. So there's something, that woman got murdered for real. Okay. Yeah. So then, so she stops like spying on the family, and she starts to record her suicide video and everything. So then she gets all these.
Didn't you get the whole time she's recording it? Like, she doesn't want to do this. She just feels this is what she's supposed to be doing.
I don't know. I didn't get that. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get that. I just felt bad for her, because although she brought out all those pills, and I was like, shares these. Come on, where's these? I want some.
Wait, what does the pink one do versus the red one?
Yeah, I don't know. She just had so much, and I was like, I'm not taking all those, because I like living, but I was like, I'll take one or two. Give daddy some.
I'm like, just give me the name, tell me what it does, so I can enjoy it.
Right. So then she records the video or whatnot, but she doesn't kill herself right then and there.
No, because she changes her mind, doesn't she?
Right.
She's like,
I don't know. Yeah, she changed her mind, because then she just went to bed. At least for that
moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because she just went to bed. Yep. And then she's sitting in bed and she thinks and everything. She's like, oh, I got the knocking. And she remembers that there
photo.
What?
She remembers the photo.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember if it was Julianne Moore's character that took the photo, or if it was her that took the photo.
No, she took the photo.
But somebody took the photo, and she's like, wait, there's a photo. So she goes down to her computer. She zooms in on the wine glass, and she sees the photo of Julianne Moore.
And David comes in and is like, that's not Jane. She's like, yes, it fucking is. And he's like, now that's Kate.
Speaking of Ethan, we have to rewind back to a minute, because Ethan ends up coming back to the house and everything to see her after all of the, oh no, she yells at him out the window. She's like, I know what your dad did or whatnot.
Yes, because he's in the rain and he's like walking on the other side.
Yeah. Yes. And I just want to say one thing that he did that I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me, is when he's hugging her and he goes, achoo, and he sneezes, and I'm all like, that is the weakest fucking fake sneeze I've ever heard in my entire life. Like me going achoo. And I go,
you're allergic to the cat. We get it. But the whole time you were there, the last time you didn't sneeze once, and you were all up in that cat's shit. You hug her once and you sneeze, suck a dick.
Right. So then David, the tenant, he's behind her and he does another jump scare and everything. And she's like, David, I have proof. And he's like, I'm not going to deal with this shit anymore and everything.
But then when she shows him the picture, he's like, that's not Jane. That's Kate.
That's Kate. And he tells her what's doing. And he's like, she was in my basement the night or whatnot.
And like, you can see the wheels turning in her melon as he's explaining shit. Like, she's piecing it together.
Right. And so then he goes to leave, but then you hear this, and then it's crash or whatever. And I'm all like, oh, somebody just got murdered. Anyways. So then she goes to look
I
what
didn't
it
think he
is.
got stabbed though. I thought he got thrown over the stairs.
Well, it broke the banister, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
he definitely got something happened. Anyway, so she goes to see what's happening. She finds him. I think she finds
No,
him.
she doesn't make it that far.
Okay. Yeah,
Ethan
because
pops
then
through the door.
Ethan is in the shadows and he's all like, "Hey, mommy," even though he doesn't call her that. I'm just saying that out and everything.
Doesn't he call her Dr. Fox?
I don't remember.
I
It
can't.
doesn't even matter. Anyway, so then
Ugh.
he shows up and he like admits that his the one woman, Julianne Moore's character, was his birth mother,
Yeah.
and that she gave him up or whatever and everything. And then he's all talking about how that woman that was the assistant of Alistair, God, I fucking hate that name now, that he pushed her out the window, and he's like, yeah, it took her 6 minutes to die and I just watched the life
Yeah,
leave her
because
eyes.
he admits he doesn't like killing people. He actually just wants to be there when he dies. That's why he's there for her suicide. Like, he killed David, but he makes it sound like David wasn't his plan. He was just planning to be there to watch her die because he wants to be there for that moment of death.
Right on. Yeah. So then he's all like, I was waiting for you to kill yourself and everything like that. So then he is sitting there talking to her or whatever, and he talks about how, like, he stole her keys or whatnot and everything like that, yada yada yada. And he took the photo of her sleeping, and then so they have this big fight, and
Fight scene.
Yeah, fight scene. And then David ends up kind of helping her by grabbing his legs, which I'm all like, that helped her get upstairs to the roof. But as soon as he grabbed his,
because this is the part that makes me mad. She pushes him through the skylight, that beautiful skylight.
Wait, hold on. Well, you're jumping forward a tiny bit. Anyway, so David grabs his legs, and then he just stabs David, and I'm all like, "Oh, you bitch! You let him die. You didn't even try to help him out. Like, you typical hoe,
she
not
had
helping a brother
flight
out."
or fight, and she went flight. Her survival instinct went. The odds of me surviving if I try to save David are 0. If I let David die,
which all she had to do was push him
odds.
over that fucking banister.
That is true.
Yeah,
because he would have fell 4 floors. So
yeah, she sucks and everything. So David helped her out. She didn't help David out. Fuck her.
know.
Anyways, she deserved to die. So then they get up to the roof and everything. And what my favorite part about this whole movie, and I laughed out loud, and I probably shouldn't have laughed out loud, when David took that 3-prong thing and shoved it through her cheek, and she's like, "Oh," and everything.
So funny.
I literally
wrote, "That's some funny banana shit right there."
Yeah. It went through her cheekbone, and I literally laughed out loud because I was like, that is hilarious. And then so like you said before, they get on the skylight, and of course he had mentioned the skylight. David had mentioned the skylight before
with the
and
mold,
I'm like,
so
foreboding much.
Yeah.
And so she pushes him through the skylight. He falls down like 4 stories or whatever. Yeah, and dies. So then you find out that the Russells, the daddy Russell, Alistair, he's been charged, and so
they
I
get
think
arrested because they help hide the body.
Yeah, they help hide the body of Julianne Moore's
Kate.
character. I don't remember her name. Kate. Oh, like it matters. Anyways,
it doesn't. She's Julianne Moore. She doesn't need a character name.
Yeah, and the 2 detectives are like, "Sorry, we didn't believe you. We're dumb."
The one detective's like, "I'm so sorry. Oh wait, I'm gonna leave your phone here. So if there's anything on there you don't want to be seen, you delete it, and then I'm gonna come back and say, hey, do you know where your cell phone is?" And you're gonna say, yeah, it was in my pocket the whole time.
Right on. So then we move to 9 months later. She's sober. I don't get that part either. But and then she says,
that makes no sense. The odds of that just doesn't make any sense.
Right on. And then so she says goodbye to this beautiful brownstone. Again, I do not know how she
makes no sense. I'm gonna go back to it. Makes no sense.
Like, I would not give up that brownstone. That brownstone was so freaking beautiful. Like
that's what extended vacations are for. You need a break from the brownstone because it's got bad memories. Go to fucking Hawaii for 3 weeks and then come back to your beautiful fucking 5-floor skylight brownstone in fucking Boston.
Yeah, you don't sell that shit. Like that's my whole thing. Like I was super like when she was like when she
was so depressing.
So depressing. I was like, you got a beautiful piece. She got a
you
ton
saw
of
the
dough.
Depression on the movers outside of the van. Even they were like, why are we moving you out of this fucking house, bitch?
Yeah, like, and she got top dollar for that fucking
Oh, for
house. Like,
sure.
I was
There
like,
was a bidding war for that
oh
shit.
my god, it was so. I can't even tell you how beautiful that house was. So, although I have been telling you this whole time,
Right. But
so
Julianne Moore's not having that shit. She's like, this brownstone's not having it.
yeah, so that's the movie in a nutshell, you guys, and that's our thoughts on it. Betty, do you have anything else you want to say about this movie? Okay, so moving on to our next segment. What was your question for this movie?
So my question is, what movie would you like to be the main character's neighbor so you can watch them through the window through the whole movie?
Okay, so I thought about this and I tried so hard not to pick a serial killer, but like it was really hard because I was like, I don't know. So I just picked Patrick Bateman from American Psycho because I love the
I
scene where he kills Jared Leto's character just because he's just like ah and everything. I laugh every time. So I guess Patrick Bateman because I just be like, this motherfucker's crazy and so good looking.
like people are like, why don't you call the cops? And you're like, fuck that, my entertainment's gone.
Right? And I want to know his skincare regimen.
Right?
So yeah, what was yours?
So mine was Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, look at you. Dining in.
No, I am not doing, but I am definitely like, I imagine, have you ever seen Shia LaBeouf in Disturbia when he's on house arrest and
Yeah.
I envision I would be him. Like I would have the binoculars. I'd be checking out all of my neighbors to see which one was going to get the majority. And if for those of you that can't see, he totally just licked.
Oh, what is your thing with that? What is your thing? I don't let any drop go to waste. Okay.
I,
Oh,
so I feel like I would be like his character and I would scan all of my neighbors to see which one had the most potential. And let's be honest, if you lived next door to Hannibal Lecter and you kept seeing people go in for dinner but never come out, that would definitely, because he never removes the body either because he's eating it. So it
right.
would definitely be intriguing.
Right on. That's a
What
word
is
for it, I
your
guess.
question?
That's a word for it. Okay, so my
The dinner invitation from him
oh,
ever.
for sure. Yeah. He'd be like, yeah. And be like, I don't care what you're serving. So okay. So well, although I'd be like, what kind of wine are you serving it with?
I do feel like he would be excellent at pairing wines. For
A nice bottle of Chianti. I'd be like, thank you, but don't do that lip thingy again. That creeps me out.
right.
Mm. Okay, so my question for you is what is your favorite movie involving a window? And I didn't mean that as like a movie that has a window in it, because that's like, anything.
Every yeah,
I
like
mean like an actual like window kind of thing.
yeah.
Go.
So I picked Salem's Lot,
Okay.
which is the original. You see the brother who is a vampire float up to
Right.
the window. Let me in, let me in. And you see this recreated in multiple vampire movies and even movies that involve like witches and things like that. So I thought that was like a really like good movie to like set that, because you see it in Lost Boys. You see it in oh crap, I can't remember now and I can't read my writing. Shit. You see it in a couple other movies. You
Right
guys know what I'm
on.
talking about. It's like, but it started there.
Right on. No, that's a good choice. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so mine is an oldie but a goodie also for all you Turner Classic movie nuts. Mine is Rear Window by
Oh,
Alfred Hitchcock.
I almost picked that.
I love this movie so much. Like I could watch this movie like all day, every day. It's so good. I love James Stewart. He's so great and everything. It's just, and Grace Kelly, of course. Who doesn't love
Yeah.
Grace Kelly? You're a psychopath if you don't love Grace Kelly. But
I don't acknowledge your existence.
yeah, exactly. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I promise you will not be disappointed. It's so good. It's like my favorite like Hitchcock movie. It's so good.
It's really good. Yeah.
So good. What about yours? What is your favorite? Oh, you already answered. I've been drinking. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. We'll be posting the video version of this episode on our YouTube channel on the off week. So next week. So be sure to subscribe to that. And you can check us out on youtube.com at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye.